So you want to roll a Bard or Cleric? Well, you might have watched one of these videos. And if you watched them sometime after November 2023, you might have noticed something amiss. Well, long story short, Wizards of the Coast attempted a ruin your reputation any % speedrun, and Paizo responded with the remaster. The changes were substantial enough that I figured I'd give you my updated takes on the classes I've already made videos for. I meant to do this sooner, but I'm a millennial. Disposable income is as much a myth to me as Bigfoot and home ownership. But I did some stuff I'm not proud of behind a Quiznos and managed to scrape enough money together to get the new core books. Now we just have to go through them line by line and see what's new. Actually, hang on a sec.
Ronald the Rules Lawyer, and my coverage of the Pathfinder 2e Remaster.
Okay, so it looks like the only big change for bards is that all of them get martial weapons now, and warrior muses get a mechanic to juggle compositions and weapon strikes to compensate. This does absolutely nothing for me. Yeah, it's a nice little boost to your action economy, but it doesn't change the fact that the higher your level, the less viable strikes become. Also, half of your unique abilities, the ones that give your party members extra actions, require you to actually cast the cantrip, so you'd want to cast them every turn anyway. They did fix defensive coordination though. There might actually be some merit to playing a warrior muse as a mid-range battlefield tactician rather than a melee Gish character. Maybe with the martial archetype? Ooh, potential beef build. Meanwhile, it looks like clerics had a handful of noteworthy changes. For starters, alignment and alignment damage have been replaced with sanctification. This isn't as big of a deal for clerics as it is for champions, so I'll save the coke and strippers for that video. But to sum up my current thoughts,
it's a good change.
What is a big deal though, is that Divine Font is no longer tied to charisma, and it gives more slots than before. That's one less attribute to keep up with, which is especially good for war priests. Speaking of war priests, I heard they got some love in the remaster. I wonder what they decided to do.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Let me get this straight. The only way Paizo could think to balance war priest having master proficiency with one weapon was to make them suck at everything until level 19? This is everything that was wrong with the war priest before turned up to 11. Fucking multi-classing into Cleric gives you master spell proficiency earlier than the war priest. Once your accuracy starts falling off, you'll just end up being a heal bot anyway, so why not pick closer clerics so you'll at least be able to throw out a decent divine lance between heals? Unless there's something I'm purposefully leaving out for dramatic effect, I just don't see any point in choosing this subclass.
But it's gonna take more than that to impress me.
This changes everything. Who cares if you can't hit the broadside of a barn? You are the broadside of a barn. I mean, not that broad, but broad enough. As far as the average campaign is concerned, level 14 might as well be level 19, but there are a handful of feats at lower levels that make the playstyle work even in the early to mid game. I bring this evidence before the Brotherhood of Tanks, along with my recommendation for the War Priest as an honorary inductee. Alright, I think that covers everything. See you in July when I do this all again for the classes that got moved to Player Core 2. Probably need a bit more cash before then. Guess it's back to the Quiznos for me!